Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we go out looking for great news from the city, from the state, from the nation. We bring those news back to share with you, along with your comments, your ideas, your suggestions on how to best connect with each other here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals, but also how to connect with our destination, our way of life, our traditions, our habits, our quirks as locals. It is a pleasure to see you today. Today is Monday, October 16. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a perfect weekend. Lots of rest and lots of chill time at home with Luna. I was able to work on a couple of projects that I was going to show you, but I didn't set them up before we began today's broadcast. So they'll have to wait until tomorrow. I'll do show and tell tomorrow. But do let me know what you're up to. Do let me know what you did this weekend. In the meantime, I'm going to begin with our news section. But first, as always, if you are watching our broadcast live with us for the first time, we can give you a nice little welcome if you add the word new to your comment. We'll be so happy to give you a nice little cheer. And of course, if there is something truly important that you wish to share with everyone this morning, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. That way we can look for it later on in the broadcast. So let me set up the news for starters and begin with a strange news item. They announced the flu vaccine season again, which starts today, but this is weird because the same announcement was made the week before. Very bizarre. This time around, however, the announcer does mention that COVID-19 vaccines will be available, but again, they are applying the Abdala and Sputnik vaccines from Cuba and Russia, respectively, which have been approved by Mexico's Federal Commission for the Protection Against Sanitary Risks, but not by the World Health Organization. That may or may not be relevant to you. Regardless, both vaccines are now available at health centers throughout the city. And little by little, we are reestablishing our services, but at least 60 residents in Colonia Las Peñas, this is next to the Libramiento on the hillside, they took it upon themselves to block traffic along the Libramiento because they were still without electricity this weekend since Lidia hit the city last week. There is no certainty that authorities were there to make promises or not. For that matter, there's still no certainty as to how quickly the electricity company is going to be able to restore services. Meanwhile, CEAPAL workers continue to work at reestablishing water services although they are challenged due to the fact that they work closely with the CFE, the electrical company, and the latter agency needs to repair the electrical grid in the municipality so that CEAPAL is able to fully restore their services. As of yesterday, CEAPAL still had four water shortage facilities and five pumping stations down. So they are urging the population to be mindful of our use of clean water until all services are fully restored. And as much as the municipality is beginning to recover from the damages caused by Hurricane Lidia, other damages are now coming to light, such as the destruction of this new sidewalk stretch in Colonia Buenos Aires, which ironically was installed when Hurricane Nora made the river overflow 2 years ago and destroyed a lot of the boundaries of the river. And that same stretch, which was brand new, well, 2 years old or a year and a half old, has now been destroyed. Of course, we're also mindful of the fact that not far from there, a sidewalk that was damaged 2 years ago was never fixed, and now the damage is even worse due to Hurricane Lidia. And as in south near Mismaloya, the highway continues to be obstructed. As of yesterday, only one lane is open to vehicular traffic. So again, if you're planning on traveling south or you're coming from from points south of the city, just be mindful that things may get a little slow once you reach the Mismaloya area. And there's still plenty of debris visible along the Camarones stream. This is a stream that runs right next to the Libramiento that overflowed this past Thursday evening. It's crazy to think that it overflowed because even from this photograph, you can see how deep it is. But also in this photograph, you can appreciate that there's everything from old tree branches to mattresses that are still plugged in here. So nearby residents are urging authorities to clean the canal, which is still at risk of overflowing again should we have another weather thing happening in the region. Hopefully it's over, but there are still a couple of tropical storms forming in the Pacific. We're not going to get into those just yet because it is too early. They're not even officially tropical storms, but we'll keep our fingers crossed to make sure that we don't get any more foul weather, or we will hope that we won't anyway. Let's take a look at the weather forecast. And Snarky Weatherman says, Wubba Lubba sound alike voice actors. I don't know if that refers specifically to the fact that I've heard recently of AI voices that sound like people that we know, but again, I don't know what that is about. What I do know is that we are now enjoying 29 degrees Celsius, humidity is at 72%, and our Fahrenheit temperature is 85 degrees. Our weather forecast for today says that we are going to enjoy clear skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon. A small chance of rain, only 11%, a high temperature of 32 and a low of 24. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll enjoy mostly cloudy skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 14%, a high of 31 and a low of 24. And Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 44%, and a high of 31 and a low of 24. Yay! I heard news from the joint boutique hotel and co-work that electricity has been restored there, so I can be confident that my next music appreciation presentation will run as scheduled. We're not going to talk about that today, and we will try to reschedule the country music one to one of the dates that we already have reserved for November or December. I have another bit of news to share with you. Two more bits of news. One I didn't set up a screen for, and this is the fact that the Day of the Dead market or festival or fair that goes on every year in Guadalajara has opened. It opened this weekend, and I'm excited because I'm going to be in Guadalajara this coming weekend. So you're going to get a couple of pre-recorded um, broadcasts next weekend. I might as well let you know now. I'm going to the opera. I'm going to enjoy the Met Opera's new production of Dead Man Walking, which is getting amazing reviews in the United States. And I'm just so very happy that that I'm going to be able to go to this Day of the Dead and Mexican toy fair. All things paper mache, all things cardboard. I am just so excited. I'm going to bring back all kinds of photographs and things to look at. But I also want to let you know that President Lopez Obrador has announced that the new Isthmus train, that's a difficult word, Isthmus train, that runs from the Coatzacoalcos, the port of Coatzacoalcos in the Gulf of Mexico. That's another difficult word, Coatzacoalcos. From Gulf of Mexico to Salina Cruz in the Pacific Ocean, the new train will begin running on December 22nd. The travel time from one side of the country to the other at that point, which is the narrowest in the country, will be 6 hours and 20 minutes by train compared to the close to 9 hours it takes to make the same trip by bus. What's in Coatzacoalcos and what's in Salina Cruz? Well, we're not entirely sure, but we do love train travel enough that we will be curious to find out and see if it's worth hopping on this brand new train and get from one point of the country or from one ocean to the other. And now, let us take a quick look at your thoughts and the things that you're up to today, your comments. Let's see. I see a bunch of good mornings and good afternoons and the so forth and so on. This is always great to see. And I'm looking for cues. And I don't see cues. I don't see cues, but I see something here. Okay. We will be in Puerto Vallarta this winter and very much look forward to the holiday activities. We are considering giving out treats to children such as chocolate, Santas, or a 20 peso note wrapped on a candy cane on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. The intent is to spread a bit of joy to the little ones. What is your opinion? Any suggestions? I need to turn the music up for that because I think very respectfully, this is not the healthiest way to give, in my opinion. And I'm going to tell you why. When little children and when little children and their parents come to expect that foreigners are going to come here and save their day by handing them things directly, you're setting up, and you can disagree with me, and I'm looking forward to your comments on this one. When you give something directly to children, you are imprinting in their mind that people from north of the border are going to take care of them. And that is not necessarily the safest, healthiest idea to imprint on a young boy or a young girl's mind. I think the act of dressing up as Santas and standing on the beach and giving things directly to the children does a lot more for your ego than for the children themselves. So what is there to do? My opinion is that there are all kinds of nonprofit agencies in town that can be reached ahead of time and to which you can ask, hey, we're coming down. We have money and we have resources. What do you need? What do the children need? Because a chocolate, it's a nice gesture, But will those children that had a chocolate and a 20 peso note in their hand, will they have food to eat the following day? So that is my very personal, very, hopefully not very controversial view on the whole thing. So I hope I haven't ruffled your feathers, Susie. I think your idea is very commendable. I think anyone that comes down here and wants to do something for local kids is a saint. But there are better ways to go about it, I think, than just standing out on the street or on a corner and dressing up as Santa and placing these expectations in their head. And that's all I'm going to say on that. And let's see what else we have. Let's go back here. Liz says, any chance you have a link to a map of the train? Not within reach, Liz, but there's some that have been published. I'm sure that if you do a search on Google, you should be able to find one. Kathy asks, how old is Luna and how did you two meet? Luna is, I think she's close to 9 years of age. She was the kitty cat of the newly adopted kitty cat of my cousin Norma, who used to live in the city of León in the state of Guanajuato. Norma has been for many, many years like a sister to me. I am the godfather to her little girl. Well, her little girl that is now all grown up. And at the point in which she adopted Luna, shortly thereafter, she found out that she was moving to the United States with a man she fell in love with, and she couldn't bring Luna along. So she said to me, do you want to adopt her? And I couldn't say no. So I flew to León, Guanajuato, just so that I could bring Luna back with me. I figured it's better for her to endure 1 hour in cargo than 8 hours on a bus. So we did that, and Luna came into my life 8 years ago, and she is amazing. And let's see what else we have. Another cue. Paco, I agree with your comments regarding holiday giving. Well said. Thank you. Again, some people may disagree, but that's just the way I see it as a Mexican national and one that lived in the United States for almost 20 years. Matthew says, Paco, the newly organized Sinfónica de Puerto Vallarta is going to give a Dia de Muertos concert on November 2nd. There's publicity for it on their website, plus a nicely made video with interviews of the orchestra members and their conductor. Thank you for letting us know, Matthew. Let's see what else. To the person wanting to give candy and pesos out on Christmas Eve, I invite you to participate in the Toys for Tots donations. We'll be distributing to 4,600 kids throughout the Colonia on Dia de los Reyes Magos. There will be more info on Facebook. That is a great suggestion. Thank you very much, Linda. Again, proceed with knowledge with this initiative or any initiative that has to do with nonprofits fundraising. Just make sure that you understand where your kind donation is going. This is not meant to throw any shade on the Toys for Tots effort either. It is just a call for all of us to become better educated as to where our money and our gifts go, how they're handled, and so forth and so on. Oh, thank you for that, Susie. Again, it was not my intention to burst your bubble. If you guys would like for me to do some homework, or if you do some homework and find out of agencies that are in need, by all means, please feel to share that information here in the cluster. And that way we will channel all this love in the best possible way. When exactly is the Mayan train going to start running? In December, we know, Angelica, but we don't know anything more specific than that. Thank you for that comment, Stan. And I totally agree with you, at least in hopeful theory. A good point is that the nonprofits have relationships and systems set up to maximize the impact of donations. There you go. There's another cue. I have to disagree with the gifting the children. I grew up poor, and during Christmas, we just were happy and didn't think of what country gifts came from. Fair. You know, again, we all have to agree or disagree. But I will not engage. I'll simply be grateful that here in Coffee and Headlines, we can have different points of view. And that's that. Spot on, Paco. I would recommend giving the money to one of the local children's charity. There you go. Thank you very much for that, Mark. Let's see what else. And Jonathan Gregory is new from I was going to say from Buenos Dias. No, not from Buenos Dias. Jonathan Gregory is watching for the first time live. Welcome to the live experience. It's great to see you here. And I think this brings us to the end of our comments for this morning. Yes, it does. As always, I thank you for your company. I thank you for the opportunity to trade opinions. And I thank you for nurturing our project the way you do. Today is only Monday, and tomorrow will be another day, so let's just hope that services continue to be restored here in the city and things go back to the way we are used to. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll hopefully see you again sometime soon. Have a great day.